grateful to be in His house one more time. I want to greet each and every one of you in your respectful places. And as I am called upon to do my presentation, today's topic is on faith. And just as how Sister Fantasia touched on Hebrews 11, I'm going to read it again. Let's see. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now when Sister Cam told me that the topic was faith, I was sitting in my desk at work and I was just like, okay, so the topic is faith. You know, what does faith really mean to me? When I expound on the word faith, faith is obviously something we cannot see, obviously, but it's something that is that reassurance in yourself, in your spirit, when you know, okay, God, even though I don't see what you're doing, I know that you're doing something behind the scene. And it's like a verse, I remember a story with the woman with the issue of blood. And she has been through so much. She's been bleeding for 12 years. As a woman, bleeding for 12 years. Now, I had to stop and think about it because it's just like, okay, God, for a woman to bleed 12 years, I'm like, God, that's very uncomfortable because it's like you have to isolate yourself. Just imagine as a woman, you're bleeding for 12 years. For 1 year, okay. Then 2 years come, and then 3 years come, and then 4 years come, and then 5 and 6. And it's like all of a sudden, it's like you feel so alone. You know, it's like nobody is there because they say woman who is bleeding for, is deemed unclean. So therefore, she cannot be around anybody. So can you imagine being isolated? And it's like, okay, God, like I'm going through this situation. Like, think about this. I'm going through this situation for so many years now, and I don't see nothing going on. I've tried this and I've tried that. I've tried this and I've tried that. There's nothing that is like nothing seems to work. And when you look in the story with the woman with the issue of blood, she has spent her savings, everything. She has spent everything seeking help. And it's like nothing, to no avail. There's nothing, nobody can do. And then it's like when you find yourself in the midst of a situation like, okay, God, I don't know what to do. It's like you become so frustrated, and it's like, God, like, why am I in this? Like, why am I in this situation? Like, I don't understand what is going on. But when she heard that Jesus was passing through, it's that reassurance. This is where faith comes in. Yes. This is where faith comes in. And she was on her knees. You know, when you find yourself, your back is against the wall, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like you just fall to your knees, and it's like, God, I cannot do this anymore. It's like, God, it's like you start crying out to God, like, God, I've been in this situation for so many years, for 12 years. I've been isolated, God. I need your help. I need your help. I need deliverance. I need this. I need that.
Come on,
and then
now.
It's like you start crying out to God. And the moment you go on your knees and you start to cry and you hear that Jesus is coming.
Yes.
She heard that Jesus was coming. So it's that push, that endurance in her is what start to kick in, and she start to press. Oftentimes, saints of God, anytime we find ourselves in a situation, we have to push and we have to press. In that moment of situation, that's where we find endurance.
My God.
That's where we need to go on our knees, and we need to cry out, and we need to crawl. And she said, if I could, it's in our heart.
Yes. Come on.
And that is why we have to make sure that our heart posture is right before God. If our heart is not right before God, is nothing can happen. That's why we always have to check that our heart posture is right. It is clean. Just like David. David committed adultery. And yet it was Prophet Nathan that came to him and warned him. And when he got that warning from Prophet Nathan, that is when David went into fasting and prayer and repentance. And he repented. Truthfully repented. And that is why we must have a heart. Our heart posture must be clean. So in this instance, the woman with the issue of blood, that is why I love the story with the woman of issue of blood, because of her faith. It's her faith that speaks volumes. That's why the Bible said the faith like the mustard seed. Yes. We must have faith like the mustard seed. If we don't have faith, then it is impossible to please God. Absolutely impossible. So we must have faith. Let's have faith like the woman with the issue of blood. Because when she heard that Jesus was passing through, she made it up in her mind and she made it up in her heart. She said, if I could only but touch the hem of his garment. And she pushed and she fought her way through. She used endurance. She continued to press her way until she got to the hem of Jesus' garment. As soon as she touched that garment, it was when Jesus looked around and said, who touched me? And everyone is like, what do you mean? Everybody's pushing up on you. Everybody's pushing up on you. But what in that instant, it's like Jesus knew in that instant, because it said that virtue left his body. So that means it was that person's faith. And because of her faith, she instantly got healed. Can you imagine going through a situation for so long? Going through a situation where it feels like your back is against the wall, like nobody is there and you're isolated. But yet we have a friend in Jesus. And she believed in her healer, Jesus. Jesus came to her rescue. And because of that, because of her faith, she got healed. And so my exhortation is, my closing is, let us continue to practice faith. Make sure that we exercise faith every day, and that we walk by faith and not by sight. Because things do not come by sight, it comes by faith. And when we live on that faith, that's when God can move mountains. God bless you.